Hi, I'm Laura Johanna. Welcome to this 30-minute deep stretch class. For your practice today, it might be useful to have 2 blocks, a bolster or a big sofa pillow, and a blanket. We're going to get started in Malasana, our squat pose. So depending on how this feels for you, it's pretty early to get that deeply into the hips. For some of us, that can feel really natural. For others, less so. So it might be nice to take a block or even 2 blocks and slide them under your hips. You can find something that feels good with the arms here, either hands in prayer or fingers interlaced. Feet are about hip width apart, toes turned out. And then allow yourself to maybe soften or close the eyes here. Let this shape be your entrance into your practice. So if it helps to take some big breaths here to rinse yourself out, then do that. If it helps to set an intention for this 30-minute practice, or maybe for the rest of your day, then do that. In some way, create the space in your mind for the result that you desire. And just let this first shape that we're taking be really simple. So we might do this in a more rigorous class and do it really actively. I invite you to soften a bit here. To settle, to feel the soles of your feet. Bring some awareness to this grounding energy through the hips, the legs, the feet. And from here, you can release your hands to the floor. Shift a little bit of weight forward. We're going to come into a forward fold, a really gentle one. So you can keep your feet wide, but maybe turn them more towards parallel. Knees can remain bent. And then really relax and drop your head. If you'd like, you can take on opposite elbows. If you'd like, you can slide blocks underneath your hands. So many options here. In yin, this shape is simply called dangling. So invite that sense of just hanging through the head, through the spine. Generous bend in the knees. Then gently begin to release your hands to the floor if they're not there already. And we're going to slide the left leg back behind us. And lower your left knee to the floor. And this is where your blanket might come in handy. And then take either your blocks or your pillow, your bolster out in front of you. You can bring your hands up onto the support of the blocks or the bolster. You might start to lower your forearms down. And you can tick-tock your right foot out to the right as wide as feels good for you. So give yourself a lot of space. And I'll be timing some of our holds just to make sure that they're equal on both sides. And always know that you have the control panel here. So if you ever want to turn down the volume, if you've maybe tried something out, it's not that you have to commit to that. Often when we hold things for a couple of minutes, it's very different from just 5 or 10 breaths. So you can always start to ease out, especially if it's just starting to feel too intense. Again, feel the grounding and the heaviness of your hips. And always still a long spine. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. Really flushing ourselves out. One more like that. A full breath in. And a full breath out. And slowly start to lift up onto the palms of your hands. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee. Then inhale, step the left foot forward. And just take a moment again, feet kind of wide. Just a pause. And then other side, so we'll lift up halfway, set the right leg really leisurely back behind you. So really take your time. Melt your right knee to the floor, untuck your toes. An option to keep your hands up on blocks or on your bolster, or to lower down onto forearms. Again, because we'll be holding this for a while, you don't need to go as deep as you possibly can. Allow there to be a little bit of room to ease into the shape. And we can't do that if we're going right away to our maximum. Then there's no space really left. And the eyes can be closed here. Allow the breath to nourish the body. And find a large, extra large breath in the lungs and an extra complete exhale. Again, like that, spacious breath in, full breath out. Lift back up onto your palms. If you're not already there, tuck your toes, lift your right knee, and then inhale to step the foot forward. Bend both knees, and this time we'll come all the way down to seated. Slow and steady. From here, take your bolster or your big pillow and lay it out in front of you. Left heel comes to the left of the pubic bone. So the knee is out a little bit wide, right leg forward. Take the bolster out in front of you, and it might also be nice to either have a block here for your forehead or maybe to roll up a blanket underneath the forehead. Take an inhale to find length, and then as you exhale, pour yourself down over the bolster. And if this just feels really, really far away today, another nice option is just to tilt the bolster up to you. And you can ground your forehead onto it and let your hands relax. And if you're using a pillow instead of a bolster, you can stack them as high as they need to go. I'm going to use a blanket here underneath my forehead. You could also turn one cheek to the side. And then maybe palms turned up. And let that right leg really soften. So the right foot, right ankle can release and relax. So you inhale again, slowly and reluctantly start to lift your heart. And when you sit up, just pause for a moment there. So again, we're trying to undo this habit we may have of rushing, moving really quickly from one thing to the next. We are instead training ourselves in this art of slowing down. As you feel ready, we'll switch out the legs. So right heel to right side of pubic bone, left leg forward. Bolster and can stay exactly as it is, and whatever support you were using for your forehead, if any. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, drape yourself over the bolster. Again, letting the head really be grounded and supported here. And the left leg relaxed. take a full breath in and a full breath out. And again, slowly, as you inhale, start to sit up, lift the heart. Maybe close the eyes and just pause. We'll take one more forward fold here. So I want to offer two options. The first is both legs extended, and again, the support of the bolster, and maybe a little bit of support underneath the forehead, like so. So a restorative seated forward fold. Second option, very similar, still a symmetrical shape. Soles of the feet together, and for this I do recommend supporting the knees. You'll still get a stretch, but it'll be in a much more supported way. And then same, something cozy and supportive that you can drape yourself over. We'll be here for a few minutes, so you have time to try out the version that feels best for you. And know that, next time you watch this video, you can always have an opportunity to do the one that you didn't do. So one of the main differences in these forward folds versus what we might do in a vinyasa class is that we're letting the spine round. So there's less of an emphasis on keeping a really long spine the whole time. So we're opening up the entire back channel of the body, from the backs of the legs all the way around the spine. And you can decide after being in this shape for a while, if there is space, you can always remove some of your props and come into a slightly deeper fold. So from as many props to maybe just slightly fewer. You can experiment with what that feels like. Always nice to keep the forehead grounded no matter what. And if you're totally comfortable, then stay as you are. There's absolutely no need to adjust. With your next inhale, slowly ground your palms and begin to peel yourself up away from the earth. And just pause at the top. No rush, nowhere we need to get to. And then as you're ready, we're going to come to a seated position for a little bit of pranayama before we lay down. So you might want to sit up on your blanket or a pair of blocks, something that allows the hips to be a little bit elevated. If the knees still feel really far away from the floor, then grab your blocks or some cushions and support them. Your knees will thank you. They want support, especially in this much external rotation. We're going to practice Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. So keep your left hand on your left thigh and raise your right hand. And we'll fold in the index finger and middle finger. So from a high five, take the index finger down, middle finger down, got ring finger and pinky lifted and thumb lifted. We'll be using the thumb to close off our right nostril, and we'll be using the ring finger and pinky finger to close off the left nostril. Alternatively, you can take those two fingers that we folded into the palm and just let them rest on the forehead. So close your eyes, sit up tall, take a deep breath in, just a regular inhale, and a complete breath out. And we'll continue to breathe only through the nose here. Close off the tip of the right nostril with your thumb. We'll inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Open right nostril, close left, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. One more round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release your right hand down. Inhale both nostrils. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to your natural breath. And we'll close our practice in a reclined position. So if you'd like to just take a traditional Shavasana and you have a pillow or bolster, slide that underneath your knees and come to lie down. Alternatively, you might take your 2 blocks if you have them, and we'll use those to support the heart. So come to sit in front of the first block. That one will go underneath the shoulder blades, and the second block beneath the head. And then you can either keep your knees bent, feet to the floor, or maybe let your feet fall open. Take them as wide as the edges of your mat. And you can either keep your knees bent, feet to the floor, or maybe any props out of the way, or anything else that might be in your way. You can turn your palms face up at your sides. If the floor feels far away from your arms, you can slide a couple of extra blankets in there as well. Again, if this feels like too much or just not what you're looking for, then you might just come to lie down with your torso flat, maybe some support beneath the knees. And wherever you decide to be, let it be a treat. So something that feels really enjoyable, not something that you're forcing yourself to do. And really take all the time you need to get comfortable. So if there's something that could be a little bit better about the placement of one of your blocks or something else, maybe a setting in your room, like you want to turn off the light now. Really create the environment that you need. Give yourself that time. There's no need to rush, and the rest will be much better. And then once you've tended to your space, let your eyes close. And let gravity rest on you like a blanket, hugging you down towards the earth. I invite you to stay here for as long as you possibly can. And then when it's time to go, do it really gradually, really easefully. I thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope the rest of your day is calm, peaceful, and nourishing.